Both players do stand. I see something with a lot of counters on it. That's Ashiok. Looking to go ultimate maybe very soon here, along with the Den Protector that's been unmegamorphed and a Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. VanMeter does not appear to have much of a board. You see the light totals here, 16 to 14 in favor of VanMeter, but that might be the only thing that's in favor of him right now.
Rudy is empty-handed, but Chris has got to get something going on Ashiok this turn.
Chris wants to take a little look-ski-poo.
Ashiok is about to go ultimate, and Chris's only permanent in play besides lands is a creature with no power.
Don't talk about the Trailblazer like that.
It's been coming up a lot this weekend.
It actually has. We've seen a lot of Trailblazers this weekend. Chris actually appears to have a pretty good hand, however. Does have an Ordeal of Thassa, a God's Willing, a Dromoka's Command. He's got a little something going on here. There's Dromoka's Command.
I would say, big deal right now if that Jace is active or not.
Yep. And all I can do is pass the turn back. So it looks like maybe that Trailblazer was summoning sick.
Yep.
Brand new to the party. Ashiok goes ultimate. Briksza very quickly sacrificing Polluted Delta. Oh, boy.
Now, in fairness, Rudy's draws are better on average in this spot than Chris's is, but that's the worst one for Chris to see.
That's the kick in the face, man. Yeah, no cards. I'm going to lose all my stuff to Ashiok. Hopefully I can, dig through time.
Now, Ashiok going ultimate is indicative of Chris having other issues in the matchup. If Rudy has that card in play uncontested for close to a half dozen turns, something else wrong has been going on.
Yeah. Because that is so unlikely to happen.
Right.
To have Ashiok just go rampant like this. That's like 4 activations, 5 really if you count the ultimate. There's a Temple of Malady. Top card to the bottom. Let's see what this 2/6 can do here for VanMeter. He's going to need to be pretty good.
To me right now, the start of the tournament, we've been talking a lot about Jace. It's been Ashiok. And that card's looked
really good.
That card has looked awesome so far.
And it's looked really good in Sultai. VanMeter will draw. It's a basic island. Beatdowns. Den Protector can't block fast enough. Briksza will draw. Copy of Hero's Downfall in hand. A couple of cards to get exiled here from Ashiok. One of them his favorite Hoplite. There's a Perilous Vault. Pass the turn back. VanMeter will draw a card. Mana Confluence in hand along with an island.
And this Perilous Vault is going to be very hard for Chris to beat because right now his board is insufficient. His hand is only lands, and he's just got to add something to be able to put Rudy under enough pressure. And once he gets to something, Rudy blows it all up, and they play draw step to draw step where Rudy's got a huge edge.
Ashiok going up again. We're going to ban Trailblazer, Stratus Dancer, Dromoka's Commander, the cards that are exiled. Perilous Vault at the ready in case anything goes wrong. Briksza will just pass the turn back.
And Rudy's actually got a Downfall in hand, which is so powerful right now because, you know, if Chris draws something that can pump the Trailblazer, he's likely to cast it to try to get Ashiok off the table. And then Downfall kills that, keeps Ashiok up, and leaves Perilous Vault in play.
There's a Temple of Malady for Briksza. A little more Ashiok action. Seeker the Way, Windswept Teeth, Disdainful Stroke. See all the creatures accumulating under Ashiok. Those are eligible to be returned.
So many victims.
Well, here's Ordeal of Thassa. And this might walk Chris down that path that you just mentioned.
He's just got to attack Ashiok right now and hope that that's enough to induce the Perilous Vault.
Here's Hero's Downfall. Ashiok down to 1. Now, for what it's worth, Rudy, I believe, just has a land in his hand.
Yeah, it's not completely hopeless for Chris. I think one more big draw from Rudy might be too much to overcome, but, you know, Rudy now with just lands in hand. The problem is Chris still needs another spell of some sort to get Rudy to blow up the ball and then get back to parity. As things stand right now, Chris has more work to do to even just get to the next stage of the game, which doesn't even favor him.
Well, he did draw a copy of Defiant Strike, so that might be exactly what he needs. Now, the question here is, do you want to lead with Ordeal of Thassa to get Perilous Fall to be blown up, or do you want to lead with Defiant Strike? I think it's actually kind of a weirdly difficult choice.
I kind of like keeping the Ordeal of Thassa here because I think Chris's straights are so dire right now that he has to hope that he draws a creature next turn and then gets Ordeal going. I guess if he has 4 copies of Treasure Cruise, that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, and there's also the possibility of this, which is Rudy just says, okay, my Ashiok's dead. It's not really having that big of an impact on the game anyway, and pass the turn back and then want to blow Perilous Vault next turn. We'll see. Chris is going to look through all those cards that have been exiled. Doesn't have a very large library left, you have to imagine. Briksza will draw another land. He'll play a forest, pass the turn back. VanMeter going to draw. This is a big draw. If that's a creature, it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, he's in this is a great spot for him now. He has something to rebuild with now. He doesn't know how soft Rudy's hand is right now.
Yep.
But he's also not in a position to play around very much.
At this point, he's just got to kind of play his game. And if I'm Chris in this spot, I just act like Rudy has nothing. I mean, because the longer it goes, the worse it is.
Right. How are you beating a Hero's Downfall in this, or a Sultai Charm in this spot anyway?
Yeah.
You know? But if Rudy's got nothing, and this is why I would have kept the Ordeal of Thassa, I think that play was close to the previous turn, is I'm looking to go for broke in Chris's spot. Assume that Rudy's hand is just lands, and in that world, Ordeal of Thassa is the better of the card to keep.
Yeah, because, in this situation, if Chris is going to try to do this bobbing and weaving around removal spells, it's really not going to work. Now, one issue that CVM does have here is he's taking a look at all these cards that have been exiled is he's got 10 cards left in his deck.
So that's more than enough time for him to win.
Yes, but given that he has so few cards in his deck and he can figure out what's left in his deck, again, I don't want to play any more turns that I have to.
Yeah.
I just want to try to get this thing over with, which means I'm probably casting Defiant Strike right now. He's just going to attack for 2. He's going to do this in combat. This is a little bit risky, but he also knows how many ordeals he has left, so he'll get in 3 points of damage. I think he just drew a copy of Battlewise Hoplite. I want to slam that on the table.
Yep, it's worth 4 points with the Defiant Strike pump, and now you got a clock going.
Yep. Briksza will draw a copy of Opulent Palace. That's not going to help. He'll just play Polluted Delta, pass the turn back. VanMeter going to draw a card. Didn't get a great look. Maybe a copy of God's Willing.
And right now, Chris has a 2-turn clock in play.
Doesn't have to change
no
anything.
rush to cast his God's Willing. You use it to fizzle a removal spell.
Briksza going to sacrifice a land. He'll go down to 3. He needs a big draw here. He'll search for a swamp.
What a comeback here from Chris.
It would be pretty impressive to get ultimated by Ashiok, have a dig through time resolve in the mid to late game, and then claw his way all the way back. Would be very impressive stuff for number 6 on our leaderboard. This is a big match for him too, because he's still in top 8 contention right now.
Same for Rudy. He's 12th place on our leaderboard. Someone who could be looking at an large bid this season, depending on how things go.
The draw. It's a temple, and that is going to do it. Chris VanMeter is going to win this match here over Rudy Briksza. 2-1. Bat Heroic does move on in what looked to be a horrible spot to jump into, but he found a way.
Yeah, straights look really dire there. I mean, Rudy drew 5 lands in a row. That's how it goes sometimes. But Chris was looking to be in a really, really bad position, but was judicious with his tricks. Played to his outs, did a good job battling through that Ashiok, and now still live for top 8.
You can even tell he was a little bit surprised too, but a win is a win is a win is a win. And now VanMeter is 10-3 with 2 rounds left to go, so we'll see if he can keep it going with his Bat Heroic deck.